ERUPTION recently posted his 30-day challenge where he lost 42 pounds. How did he do it, and was this healthy?
It's trending on nutrition.
What's new? If you're new here, hi, my name is Jo. I'm a dietitian and I mostly work with individuals who struggle with their relationship with food and their body. In this channel, we talk about building a healthy relationship with food, self-discovery, and also tackling dieting and diet culture. Trigger warning, in this video, we will be talking about extreme weight loss, intermittent fasting, and 1 meal a day. So if you feel like this conversation is not for you, then we can definitely see you in the next video. Eric Tai, or ERUPTION, is somebody that you've probably seen on TikTok. He's a Filipino actor, model, TV host, and comedian, a former rugby player, and now professional Arena of Valor esports player, and social media personality. Aside from a few ting dances that I've seen, I don't really watch his content. But his 30-day challenge did pop up on my feed. I do want to emphasize that this video is in no way, shape, or form calling out this individual. I have nothing against him. I just want to talk more about the message of the weight loss or the 30-day challenge that he posted. So Eric posted his 30-day eruption challenge. The new year is coming and so many of us probably have fitness goals. I think that this post was timely for that as a way to inspire us to get on those health journeys. I'm not against challenging yourself in order to push yourself to grow, but most fitness challenges are often very restrictive and pushing yourself into extreme. So at the end of the challenge, what you want is to actually have habits and a foundation to build upon that is going to continuously help me improve my health. Or did I just exhaust myself throughout this whole challenge, making it even harder to pick back up because I got burnt out? You also don't have to put a deadline on your weight loss journey because most of the time we want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, but health is a lifelong journey and it doesn't end after 30 days. How I would reframe challenges would be, instead of losing a specific amount in 30 days, I would focus on drinking enough water for 30 days or walking more or eating more fiber, a value and habit adding goal rather than something restrictive. Eric Tai went from 260 pounds to 218 pounds, giving us 42-pound weight loss in 30 days. Generally, a healthy and sustainable fat loss would be around 0.5 to 2 pounds every week. 42 pounds in 30 days is more than 1 pound per day. Now, those in larger bodies tend to lose fat faster on their journey because they have quote unquote more to lose. But this would also taper off through your journey. So to lose that much weight in a short period of time, there's also likely going to be muscle mass lost as well. So a progress point that would have made a lot of sense in this 30-day challenge would be to look at body fat percentage and muscle mass. If it's just about weight itself, then the question is, why did we have to lose so much weight in just a short period of time? There was a comment on the post that said, genetics aside, 42-pound weight loss in 30 days seems a little extreme. And Eric mentioned it actually is. But when you do it right nutritionally, it feels so much better and healthier. No matter how you do it nutritionally, losing 42 pounds in 30 days is extreme. And in most cases, we would definitely not call this healthy. So let's get into how he lost this weight, as this was something that was posted in a very short and I guess sweet caption. Strictly no sugar, no carbs. A weight loss transformation with no carbs and no sugar, my guess is going towards keto. And this is confirmed by a comment that Eric made. Haha, you should probably study fasting benefits plus healthy keto, and a whole new world will be opened up to you. The ketogenic diet is a high-fat, very low-carbohydrate diet, with around 70 to 75% of nutrients coming from fat, 15 to 20% coming from protein, and 5 to 10% coming from carbs. The keto diet was not created for fat loss. It was initially created to help treat those with epilepsy. There isn't any magical benefit to fat loss with keto. But why is there so many people who lose weight on a ketogenic diet? One would likely be the creation of a calorie deficit, but two, it would be the loss of water weight. When it comes to carbohydrate storage, which is in the form of glycogen, we also hold on to water. For every 1 gram of glycogen comes 3 to 4 grams of water. And that's why when you cut off carbs, you also lose a lot of water weight. And this does become a big chunk of the weight loss. And losing water weight is not something that you have to strive to do, as our body does hold on to water for a specific purpose. Of course, if you're holding on to too much water, like it's edema and bloating, then that's another thing that we want to look at. Is there any benefit to keto? Now, before we look more into this transformation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also, you can follow our podcast, The Donut Box Podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Let's keep going. The ketogenic diet has been seen to improve metabolic markers, such as insulin, triglycerides, cholesterol, and more. However, this would also be very dependent on the type of fats that you are consuming. Because if we are consuming a lot of saturated fats, then it would have a different impact compared to the increase of consumption of unsaturated fat. If there's anything I would take away from the ketogenic diet, it would really be to increase unsaturated fat. Now, I personally wouldn't recommend the ketogenic diet because in most cases, it is quite a restrictive and unsustainable diet. For one, unsaturated fat sources tend to be quite expensive. Two, the keto flu symptoms are pretty intense. Three, long-term, some nutrients may not be met. And number 4, many just cannot stick to it long term. And this isn't just a discipline or willpower thing, but checking into how we package it with our lifestyle. Now, I did see another comment where somebody is asking what the secret formula is, and the reply was, got you, 150 grams of fish, salmon, veggies, and 4 eggs. I actually wouldn't call this a ketogenic diet. This is more of a high protein diet than it resembling anything like keto. There isn't any emphasis on fats, which is what the ketogenic diet is all about. I'm all for adding more protein into our diet because it is highly satiating. It's great for hormonal balance and muscles, but it doesn't have to be the only thing that you eat as well. And carbohydrates are not bad, as they still provide us with many nutrients from vitamin B's to iron, magnesium, and more, as well as fiber. Fiber being so important for gut health, blood sugar balance, and cholesterol. Again, I want to emphasize that if you want to lose weight, you don't have to cut out any specific food item because there is no one single food that's automatically going to make you gain weight or lose weight. Overall, it is about the amount of energy and calories that we consume. Now, quality of food also matters. I'm not saying that it doesn't. One of the things I would rather us emphasize is to incorporate more protein and high fiber food items rather than completely excluding food groups. What's important is that we're mindful of the overall composition and variety and balance that we have in our diet. Let's go to the next line. 2 weeks, OMAD at 700 calories. Oh my God. OMAD is short for 1 meal a day, which you can probably already understand what it means. You eat 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day doesn't necessarily have any specific dietary recommendations, but more of your meal pattern. And the reason why OMAD works for weight loss is because it's hard to overeat your calories in 1 meal. It ends up being easier to create a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is essentially where you eat slightly less than the overall calories you need in a day so that your body can start tapping into stored energy, which is usually in the form of fat. My number one concern with a 1 meal a day diet is its sustainability. Essentially, you are not eating throughout the whole day and you're only eating once. Another concern would be getting the amount of nutrients that you need. Let's say you need 140 grams of protein per day. Imagine having all of that in just one sitting. That's gonna be hard. That's why we often recommend eating regularly throughout the day because it would be easier for you to get enough nutrients and calories. But he did mention he was only eating 700 calories a day. Of course, 700 calories is going to help you lose weight. You are very much in a calorie deficit, but it is not a healthy deficit to be in. What are some of the dangers of undereating? Irritable mood, cognitive decline, constipation, decreased muscle tone and strength, dizziness and fatigue, increased hunger and craving. Long term, it could also lead to infertility and reduced immune function, insomnia, malnutrition, thinning hair, osteoporosis, and also in some cases, it can lead to heart concerns. Another comment asked, did you do this with exercise? Yes, indeed, still 6 times a week. Are the workouts still the same intensity? Honestly, I tried to keep it there, but I had to change it up, especially the first 2 weeks of OMAD. More on HIIT and circuit training. That's high intensity training with very little food. Underfeeding your body and overworking it through exercise is definitely going to create negative impacts to our metabolism. Another comment is 700 calories per day. Man, that's cruel. It was nasty, bro. And the first 3 days was the toughest, but the rest was a lot easier depending if I got in the 7 hours of sleep and work wasn't so bad with hectic night skeds. When we're actively admitting that it was intense and a nasty way to reach your goal, yet we're still still promoting these behaviors, I don't know what to say about that. Also, this post was partnered with Supplement Hub, who provided him his vitamin Bs and other supplements. Supplements aren't necessarily bad. I mean, they can be very great at bridging the gap from nutrients that we need and we can't really get, especially when it comes to food availability and accessibility and we need it. But if you are purposely underfeeding yourself, then relying on supplements to give you the nutrients that you need, then that is a very important time to reassess your diet, because supplements are supposed to supplement your diet and not replace food. Like, if all you want is just to lose weight really, really fast, then 700 calories would probably do the trick. But you have to look at that bigger picture. Even if you are doing it for just a short period of time, there are still consequences that happen. Losing weight fast is also going to likely lead you to gain it back fast. And just because you lost weight doesn't always mean that you're going to be able to maintain that weight unless you maintain the same structure of diet. In the next half, he says 2 weeks of intermittent fasting at 1,400 calories. Thankfully, we brought up the calories. Yes, it's not 700, but it's still quite low. Now, this is going to be a very general computation, but for a sedentary individual at 260 pounds, the calories recommended for maintenance would be anywhere between 2,500 to 3,500 calories, with a maximum of 500 calorie deficit for sustainable fat loss. Now, I did mention this in a previous video, and I will talk about it in another video as well. But intermittent fasting is similar to OMAD in which it is not a diet, but more of an eating pattern. And usually you would have hours of eating, your eating window, and hours of not eating, your fasting window. And this often works for weight loss because, like OMAD, it helps you create a calorie deficit. And for some individuals, it's easier for them to be mindful when they have a specific time around their eating. This doesn't work for everyone. Intermittent fasting can lead to the binge and restrict cycle, where their eating window becomes a planned binge, eating as much as you can in a short period of time just to make up for the times that you weren't eating. It can also cause a lot of migraines, headaches, acid reflux, and be overall hard to maintain, especially if you're constantly thinking about food and it starts to stress you out. Something to always look at is if this will affect your relationship with food negatively. Because if now you're feeling obsessed with food and the time that you're eating, that's something that might not be a long-term strategy. Is what he did sustainable? Transformations as drastic as this is more common in athletes with a specific goal, celebrities with a specific purpose or role, or anybody who is doing extreme dieting that is not supposed to be done long-term. Maybe it's sustainable for him, but it is likely because he has a team who helps him on this journey. For the average individual who doesn't have a coach, doesn't have a nutritionist or dietitian, doesn't have meals delivered to them, this is going to be very difficult to maintain and sustain. I know that it seems that I'm always pushing down somebody who's sharing their transformation, and it's perfectly fine for you to share something that you are proud of. But the message in these posts are something that we really have to look at. And you're probably saying, yeah, it was a 30-day challenge. Of course it wasn't supposed to be done long term. But again, what we have to look at is after the challenge. With everything that he did, of course he was going to lose weight. But does that mean that it improved his overall health? Weight loss is not always equal to health, especially if the methods to lose weight are done drastically, intensely, and unhealthily. Now, I will commend the fact that he put in his post that this diet is not for everyone. It's important to consult your doctor, do your research, but with such an audience, there's bound to be someone out there who will just follow every single thing mentioned because they think that it will give them the exact same results. It even says in the post, 2024 is less than 2 weeks away. Make the decision now, fam. Kaya nyo rin ito. In the comments, he said, it can be done, fam, if done the right way with the right mindset, the healthy way. 700 calories for 2 weeks and 1,400 calories for 2 weeks to lose 42 pounds in 30 days the healthy way? 42 pounds in 30 days cannot be done in a healthy way. It will likely be done in a restrictive way. Now, if you do have goals and you're willing to make all of these sacrifices, that's fine if that's for you. But if we're now going to label it the healthy way, admitting that it is extreme and hard to do, yet still defending the fact that it was done right, that's where I'm coming in. I am all for inspiring people to live a healthier life, but why does health always have to look extreme and drastic? A lot of our fitness and health motivation tends to fall under the no pain, no gain mentality. And while I am not against growth and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, it doesn't have to be in an intense and painful way where you are now sacrificing so many aspects of your life, especially if this is something that you see yourself doing long term. If there is one thing that I want you to take away, it is that health transformations do not always have to be fast and extreme. And if you truly want to improve your health, you will take your time to create health promoting behaviors. It is so easy for us to compare the results that we see online to ourselves, but that is not going to be the result for everyone. We can all eat and work out the same way, but we will never look the same because everyone is different, from accessibility to genetics and everything else in between. So while we may be inspired by a post like this, just remember that there's so much more to health than what you see on social media. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. You can also comment below if there's anything that you want to talk about. But until the next video, don't forget, you always deserve to eat.
The video's over, but that doesn't mean you have to go. You can still subscribe or watch another video. Thanks for watching.